Hey, we are back. Welcome along, everybody. How is people? Great to be here. Can you believe it? We're now on our 4th episode of The Hair Show. This is starting to feel part of our normal life now. So great to see those comments coming in, guys, and so many familiar faces. So as we go during the show, I'm going to be keeping an eye on all these comments. So keep them coming in. Keep your questions. If there's things that you want to raise up in today's The Hair Show, this is your opportunity. So what is The Hair Show? Well, this is now our weekly show dedicated to the hairdressing industry. Think of this as your online magazine show, and yeah, we are so enjoying having you here and being part of this. So remember, keep liking the show, keep your comments coming in, stay around, because we're going to be around here for about the next hour and 15 minutes, and yeah, so excited for it. And shortly I'm going to be bringing on my fellow hosts, but before we do any of that, I've got to just do a big shout out. And that's to our friend Simon Townley at Hair Socials, who's had a bit of a fall. He's up for an operation. So just from everybody at the How to Cut It community, Simon, we want to wish you a speedy recovery. I say we really are all behind you. Keep the great work going. I'm sure you're going to be in your bed doing all that stuff. So, yeah, brilliant. So what have we got coming up? And by the way, I've got hay fever kicking in big time tonight, so you'll have to bear with the teary eyes and sniffs. So coming up in tonight's The Hair Show, we have got, first of all, the World Hair News, Jordanna Cabela. And let me tell you, Jordanna has literally just got into her seat. She's had a bit of a day, but we'll let Jordanna tell you all about that. Then we have, as you starting to get to know really well, Rock Up and Share. This is where we offer you the chance of seasoned pros, rising stylists, stars of the industry to get in, showcase your work. We've got Heather Robertson and Let Lou. Really cool stuff. So if you want to see some inspirational work, that's your stuff. Brekkie with Belle. What more can we say? The hair industry's Dear Deirdre agony aunt. So she's got her questions coming your way. She's going to be answering them for you all as we go into the show. Then we have Hairdressers Open Talk. We're going to be joined by Nial Colgan, who's going to be talking about haircutting and why it should be there in the hair industry, being talked about now. Get your comments coming in for that. I think there's going to be some things that you're going to really want to talk about. We said we've got Denman products coming into the mix. Well, actually, no, there's a little change. Our prize tonight is Patrick Cameron prizes. So we've got some goodies there. We've got Hair Unsung Heroes. We've got a how-to, our first how-to, and Jack Mead is going to be bringing you all of this. So how good does this sound? Are you up for this? Are you ready for this? I am. Are you ready to meet our fellow hosts? So let's bring them onto the screens. Let's give a big hello to Georgia Bell and Jordanna Cabela. There you are, ladies. How are you both?
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
how's the week?
everyone.
Jordana, you have just, I've got to wipe my eyes because I have got streaming eyes. You would not, my mascara will ruin. Oh dear. So how's things, Jordana? You've just literally dashed into that chair, haven't you?
I know,
that's been
I know.
bonkers.
Sorry guys. A bit last minute today. I've just been at the salon and knowing me, things are going wrong. We haven't reopened yet, but it's all good. Another Monday has come and it's great to be here with you guys today. We've got a lot to share.
Honestly, serious pro, how you just dashed into that chair. And George, come on, how are you doing?
Well, I'm so thankful that Jordanna has almost had to do her new segment. Yeah, things are really good. We are on the rebrand and so things have been super busy, but we're really excited to get back to it.
Cool. Now, as you're probably all aware, we are live. It's quite a busy time when you've got 3 calls coming in. I think we keep losing Jordanna, bless her, at the moment. She's having one of those. So, as I say, it's going to be one of those sort of nights where it's your show. I'm just going to have a look. Let's have a look. We've got some familiar faces coming in. So, got Niall there, George. We have. So you there, Jordanna? You're back with us.
I am here.
Good stuff. All right, and we got and there's Andrew Dunn. Delighted to see Andrew there. Delighted to catch you live. Well, Andrew Dunn. Do you all see Andrew's Sunday service, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah,
brilliant.
it's
So
amazing.
Andrew, honestly, it's great to have you here. He's the master of lives. Tony Cripps, great to see you. Right, anyway, now you're back, Jordanna. We're going to head off into the first part of the show, which is the World Hair News. So let's hand it over. Let's open it up. The World Hair News.
So today, everyone, we have 4 new topics for you. Wella have launched a reopening plan that shares all the tips and new policies to consider from other businesses across UK and Ireland. Now, uniting hairdressers come together and stand resilient to this pandemic, as I'm sure you will all agree. And here's how we can bounce back. Before I play the video, I just want to let you know that there's also heaps of downloadable material, PDFs, appointment posters, cleaning checklists, and everything and many more that can take the hassle out of having to reopen. And all of these are downloadable on behindthechair.com. Now, without further ado, let's play this Wella video, which I think a lot of you may find very useful. Okay, no problem. So, news topic number 2, we will be posting Wella's video, so don't worry. News topic number 2 is all about hair colour trends. I'm sure you'll all agree there has been so many more pastel shades that have come back into fashion, particularly through celebrities. I'm not sure if you guys stay up to date, but the likes of Dua Lipa, we have Ruby Rose, all sporting different types of pastels and pinks and blues, and it's been lovely to see, and I'd love to actually get your take on it. The third news story of the day is all about hair loss industry, because there has been an exciting breakthrough, and lads, this one is for you. Now, when it comes to transplant, as we all know, they normally take follicles from the side of your hair, and sometimes even from the beard. But what they're trying to do in the labs, and they have been very successful, is growing hair follicles via stem cell research. Now, this gives us the opportunity to actually put in the hair follicles without having to take it from elsewhere on the head. So, lads, get excited. Something is going to happen in the next couple of years. I can feel it. There's a lot of money being pumped into the hair loss industry, and I'm excited to see it. Now, news topic number 4, we have our lovely Keeks, who is digital editor of Hairdressers Journal. She has been kind enough to share with us her personal experience on Black Lives Matter and being a black lady in the hairdressing journalistic industry. So here's something from Keeks.
I think that in the hairdressing industry, a lot of the time, a lot of the things, the problems of the racial injustice in the hairdressing industry is stemming from the fact that Afro hairdressing isn't a part of the curriculum, it's an option. It's not a core part that you have to learn to be a hairdresser. And I think that if you then don't choose to learn it, and you could quite easily just go on with your day and go on with your whole career and never doing Afro hair. And I think that's a problem, because personally, I think to be the best hairdresser you can be, you should get any kind of model put in front of you, and you should be able to do texture hair. And I think a lot of the time as well, the wording that is used to describe Afro hair has historically been very questionable, and you'll see things like unruly, difficult, coarse, hard to manage, unmanageable. Those are all words that are thrown around on a packet of, conditioner for Afro hair. So, or for thick and coarse hair. So of course, if you're having these pejorative terms used to describe a hair type, it's going to be looked at in a negative way, and people can't manage that. So I think those 2 things, learning about it and using better language to describe it, will help to kind of equal out the injustice that a lot of black women will face when they're going to get their hair done.
Oh, I think you'll agree. Some strong words. Where's Jordanna there? Let's just bring our Jordanna in there. Yeah, some strong words there from Keisha. So thank you so much, Keisha, for coming in and doing that piece. And I know you got in touch with her about this, didn't you, Jordanna?
Yeah, I did, and I really wanted to see, her take on it from a journalistic point of view and from an opportunistic point of view, because she's been in the hair industry for a long time now. So it was great to get her take on things.
Yeah, it was. Now, I've got to bring that subject up, stem cell. Now, honestly, I'm not excited by it. Do you reckon this is going to happen? Do you think there are that opportunity? And I'd be interested, you listeners, do you think that we could see blokes like me, no hair, actually, having that opportunity to grow hair? Do you think that could happen, George?
I'm trying to envision you with hair, Dom, actually, before I can even answer. But I do believe that male grooming's on the rise. I do believe, that male hair replacement is on the rise. And, hair science interests me very much. And I think actually the breakthroughs that we've seen in Jordanna's news stories are quite incredible, actually. Everything's moving forward so quickly, and it's quite amazing, actually. Very interesting.
I always think, as blokes, we have such a hang-up with losing our hair, and I think, I think for myself, I know when I was a younger guy, I did have a bit of a hang-up about it, but suddenly when you become accepting of it, and I always think to myself, would you take up that opportunity to again have hair? And I think, Jordanna, I'd be lying if I said I probably wouldn't go for it. So,
well, Dom, who knows? In a couple of years' time, you'll be sporting one of those micro fringes.
You know it, I tell you. And maybe I could be having a bit of that sort of celebrity colour. So just pick us up on that, Jordanna, before we move on to celebrity colour.
Yeah, I never would have expected that during quarantine that we would actually have a trend come out about hair colour. But a lot of celebrities have been getting really creative with washing shampoos or even just, semi-permanents or whatever they can get their hands on in Superdrug. And I must say, I think it's been really nice to see some colour. Obviously, we want to do it ourselves, but at least it's generating a little bit of interest, a little bit of talking points. People are starting to latch onto that. So I really like it.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have a little bit of story away from the heavier stuff. But, I know people are coming in, just with mandatory Afro-textured hair. And we spoke last week, didn't we? Jemima Bradley, who's campaigning. We put that into the Facebook page, which you're watching this on tonight. So if you want to check out that video full, it's all there. But as I mentioned at the start, we encourage our community, you guys, to share your work. All right, this is our opportunity that we give to you to upload a video to us, 2 and a bit minutes, and showcase your work. And I love it. I think Rock Up and Share, Jordanna, George, and you guys, has proved really popular. So we are going to go into our first Rock Up and Share, okay? And this person, I absolutely love her. I love what she's doing. She's been a real part of Weller over the last few weeks, or over the last lockdown. So this Rock Up and Share comes from Heather Robinson. So sit back, guys, and enjoy a little bit of beautiful hairstyling from Heather. How good was that? That hairstyle, Heather, thank you so much. Absolutely delightful. Do you know, with your connections at Wella, Jordanna, do you know Heather?
Yeah, well, also actually first met Heather through GHD, and she's got a lovely calming presence about her, which I find is so engaging, and such a whiz and a wizard at long hairstyling, and she makes it look so easy as well. Yeah. So well done, Heather. Thank you for sharing.
And I'm looking down, by the way, listeners, if you're wondering why I'm not looking at you, I'm just looking down at these great comments. Keep them coming in. I'm going to keep flashing them up during the show here. Sarah Dawes, hiya Sarah, how you going? And she says, George, she says, I love Heather's work too. It's fab. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's beautiful. I love those textured waves that she's done. I think they're amazing.
Yeah, and you put a comment actually in here, George, and I think you've put, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Rock Up and Share, guys. So, yeah, come on. What's your thoughts on it? Do you like it? Does it work? I mean, the whole thing, what we're trying to do here is give you educational content, but bite-sized, okay? Because there's so many great places out there for great long-form content, but the whole point of this, we want to cover lots, and Rock Up and Share, is a perfect place. And if it is something that you would love to get involved in, it really is that easy. Dan, who's our amazing producer, he's watching the show, he's putting comments in, he's going to put links for the submission forms, and it is that quick and easy to do. It really is. Just fill out your name and upload your video, and off it goes, and you could be on this show going out to a couple of few thousand people, which is a great bit of coverage to you. So that's Rock Up and Share. We're now moving into something that I know many of you tune in for. I don't think you come and tune in for my face and my bald head, by the way, Liam. Yeah, you want to see what I looked like when I was young. I might challenge you to that one, but we are going to head into this now with George. And George, come on, you introduce it, and then we're going to go into it.
Well, what can I say, darlings? Another day, another dilemma. I am so thankful for your questions, your dilemmas. They're getting stronger every week. I appreciate them. You actually make Brekkie with Belle, so please keep sending them. Remember, you do remain absolutely anonymous in all this. So without further ado, Dom, take it away.
Here we go.
Welcome to the 4th episode of Brekkie with Belle. Now remember, I am the dear Deirdre of the hairdressing industry, darlings, and I need all of your dilemmas and DMs sending directly to me. Now remember, they remain completely confidential and you remain absolutely anonymous. So, question 1 comes from somebody that actually rents a chair, and they were asking me, how do they avoid client friction from other clients when their prices are completely different to other freelancers within the salon? I think you should, if you're freelancing, I think that you should always set your prices down to your experience and your skill set. And I don't really think it's up to any other clients what you're charging your own clients, and I don't think it's up to anyone else that's a freelancer to kind of question what prices you charge as well. That's up to you and where you set them. So question number 2 is, hiya, can you tell me if going VAT registered is going to destroy my small business? Now that is something that I can't really answer on such a broad spectrum. You really have to look at your business. You need to look at what you're taking over, your profits, before you could make that decision. If you have to go VAT registered, then there's no other way. But if you do need some business advice, I would definitely seek a business advisor and a great accountant, and they will be able to help you and put things in a clearer perspective. So, question number 3, unfortunately, this person wrote to me and they've just had a full-time staff member hand in their resignation, which is even more scary, even after lockdown, and we know what we're coming back to. So she's asked me, what is the best platform to try and find decent staff? Now, I think a lot of it is location based. If you're not in London, if you're not in a big city, it's always going to be a lot harder trying to find staff that are going to believe in your brand and want to build your business alongside you. So through my own experiences of being a salon owner for the past 4 years, I have got some really good apprentices that I trust, and I've started training them from the bottom up. That way, they take on everything I say, they learn exactly what I teach them, and they take on board my brand ethos and my techniques, and I think that's the best way moving forward. Okay, so question number 4 is from somebody that says that they are feeling completely overwhelmed about getting clients back into the salon after lockdown. Now, I can completely relate to you with this, babe. You know, it has been a while. So what I decided to do for all our clients is to start to create a monthly newsletter. And in the first newsletter that I'm going to be emailing all of our clients, it's going to explain, you know, the new procedures that we've put in place, the PPE, what they can expect from us moving forward, what we need to expect from them moving forward. And, you know, not only is that going to put all our clients at ease, it also puts me at ease, because I can go back and I can read that back through, and I can kind of, it's like a step-by-step guide for myself almost, to get those clients back into the salon after lockdown.
Hey, thank you so much. Round of applause, please, everybody, for George. And it's a really popular piece. I've just seen this come in from Daniel. He's put there, George, he's put such good advice. I love this section, Georgia. So those questions are real, aren't they? They're not...
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, they are real. And you know what? It makes me realise how many people do ask them. You know, sometimes I get really big names in the industry coming to me asking questions, and then sometimes I get what I consider like myself, the everyday hairdresser. So there really is a call for it. I have to just say, you know, I am not I'm not a psychiatrist or whatever, and I'm not, you know, sort of geared up
a legal lawyer either.
A legal lawyer, like, don't come for me, you know. It's just a bit of fun. But this is what I would do if, you know, anyone came to me with problems. But, you know, every week, Dom, the questions are growing. I'm getting more and more people coming through, and I'm actually going to be starting something really fun in the next few weeks, which is going to be hairdressing horror stories. Do you remember the first time when you were in your salon or in a salon and something went wrong, and that feeling of dread? Like, I want to know your hairdressing horror stories, and I want to talk all about them. Again, completely confidential. You remain anonymous, but it's just for the laugh, darling. So yeah. Exciting times.
And as I will say, you know, they are George's answers. Don't take it as gospel that is the right thing. It's just George's take on this, and it is one of those things, isn't it, Jordanna? We get, you know, in our salon, we get asked so many questions, don't we, by clients, and you know, it seems that we almost have to take on this agony aunt role.
Absolutely, and it's nice that you're doing it from hairdresser to hairdresser for once, because, you know, we dish out advice and we listen to our clients all day, every day, but we don't often have time to talk to each other. So I think that's what's really special about this segment. But also, one of your people that wrote in, Georgia, who was saying about feeling overwhelmed, I just want to reiterate that is like something I think a lot of us are feeling across the board. I know that 3 weeks, we have just shy of 3 weeks now, actually, but and I should be really excited, but I am totally so anxious.
I think everybody's feeling it, aren't they, George? And again, listeners, are you feeling it? How anxious are you feeling? Are you feeling just ready to go, or is there anxiety? I mean, what's your thoughts?
I did a set of highlights on my my beautiful flatmate, and honestly, it took me like double the time because I'm so out of practice. And it just goes to show that, you know, when you're not constantly practicing something every day, you do lose a bit of your confidence.
And
I know we've done some colour,
because I know there's still people, salons that are holding back on bookings because, again, I don't want to go too deep and heavy into it, but there's still that uncertainty. Will it be, you know, and we're talking about the UK here, and I know we have a lot of our Irish friends watching it, you know, July the 4th, but are you taking your bookings, George?
So yeah, we just started I'm going to be starting Thursday, but we have made a start today for the 6th. Simply because we're doing a refurb and a rebrand, so I want my staff to come to the salon and get used to it. If it gets moved forward by the government, then that's cool. But personally, as a business owner, as a hairdresser, I need to see it organised in front of me. And if it means that I move it on my booking in system, then I'll do that. But to just not have that organisation there would freak me out even more, and I would be, you know, I'd be even more anxious. There's a lot to think about, you know, as a business owner or a busy stylist. You've already got 101 things. Now you've got, you know, 20, 30 more things. So,
and are you taking appointments yourself, Georgia, on your phone, or?
So we just installed an app called Forest, which means actually eventually clients are going to be able to book themselves in. However, I want to get that first appointment booked in myself, because what will happen is clients might get the service wrong and then it's going to be a mess. So what I want to do is I want to book that service in, because it's more than likely going to be a colour correction for everybody. And then the client will come, I'll train them how to book in, and I'll say, actually, at that appointment, the next service you book needs to be a balayage, a highlights, whatever. You know?
So I'm just reading these comments coming in here. Lisa Harrington, very full of anxiety. A raised question from one of my clients was, let's bring that up again, will all her styling be having COVID-19 tests before reopening? And if not, why?
How can we have a test?
We can't test yet, can we?
I think what we can do is we can have a temperature gun and take their temperatures outside the salon before they enter. And if you can maybe stop appointments, like browsing appointments or walk-in appointments, and only take people by appointment only, hopefully when you explain to them on the phone when they book, please do not come if you have been in contact with someone, then hopefully they're honest and good enough not to come.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, guys, if you are all excited for getting back into the salon, I want to see them likes come in. Let's put lots of likes and loves in there if you are excited for getting back into the salon. I'm excited because we are now going to be moving into our next segment, and this is hot talks. And no, it's nothing sexual. This is Hairdressers Open Talks, and this is where we invite speakers. Think of this as Poets Corner at Hyde Park, and we want you to talk about industry things that you're passionate about. We want to create conversation. Sometimes we're going to agree, sometimes we're not going to agree. So we're going to bring in a great friend of our show, Nial Colgan. You know, everybody knows Nial now. Really great speaker. So I couldn't think of anybody better to do this. So we're going to go into this now. Hairdressers Open Talk with Nial Colgan. And please bring in your comments to this piece. All right, we're going to talk about it after this video with Nial. Here goes.
I am a salon owner in Limerick in Ireland, and the reason I wanted to come on and talk to you this evening is about the salon haircut. Now, as long as 2008, 12 years ago, I did a lecture called The Art of Haircutting Has Become the Art of Damage Limitation. You see, from that period of time, there seemed to be a move towards over-texturizing hair. With the generation of hairdressers that has just simply grown and grown. And from that period of time, I felt that I had to get my message out to tell people just how important it was to cut beautiful hair on the salon floor every time. Now, I don't know how this happened or why it happened, but it certainly has happened. As a salon owner now since 2009, the amount of people that I have trade tested, the amount of hairdressers that I've seen working in the industry, they really have forgotten the fundamentals of what it is to cut beautiful hair on the salon floor. I don't necessarily blame them, because a lot of the time salon owners do not provide stylists and hairdressers with enough time to deliver workshop quality hair on salon appointment time. In the time of Instagram, there is no question that colour and styling has become front and centre in our industry, and the haircut has really been forgotten. Today, people seem to consider that blow-drying hair straight, cutting 2 inches off the end and point cutting the interior amounts to a haircut. It does not. My entire worry with this is that when you have a client that is post-chemo or postpartum, the situation there is that hair is a completely different texture to what it was in the first place. And when hairdressers use texture as an excuse for poor hair cutting, the results are dire, and they are completely and utterly terrible for the client. She never has any chance for her hair to recover unless she changes hairdresser. Because the pure and simple fact of the matter is that the haircut has become one of the least important things in a lot of salon environments. Hair salon owners need to price and allocate the time needed to produce workshop quality hair on the salon appointment time every time. Thank you.
Thank you, Niall. Absolutely brilliant. He absolutely nailed that. That's how you do a hairdresser's open talk. So keep your comments coming in. I'm going to pull them up on the screen and kind of hand it over a little bit to the girls. Some of your comments that's coming in, whether you agree with Niall, do you disagree? Have you got something now? What's your thoughts, Jordanna, on the haircut? Has it been forgotten? You know, talk us over it.
Well, do you know what? Initially, I agree with you, Niall, and I think, you know, the art of hair cutting has taken a little bit of a backseat, and I don't think we can deny that this is the moment for the colour and styling. Personally, I want to celebrate that because it has been a long time coming, and, you know, colour had always taken a bit of a backseat in terms of hairdressing services. However, a really good point you've raised there about, you know, maybe we're actually forgetting some of the fundamentals and foundations. But of course, we are going to be out of practice if this is not something that the clients are demanding. And I know part of it does come from us as well, granted. You know, it's all about how we advise the client, and we can manipulate decisions. However, if we look back at trends for the last 15 years, I mean, we haven't got a lot of exciting trends coming through for us to be able to recommend those haircuts. But of course, I do think you're absolutely right. The structure, the artistry and the discipline of haircuts has to have its moment again.
Yeah,
and George, what are you thinking?
I'm just going to put this over to George, actually, George. So we've got Sinead. She's put, I agree. I feel cutting is such a weakness for me, and I believe it's to do with lack of time spent on cutting. Do you think cutting has been overlooked a little bit, George? And, you know, is there a generation where colouring has become such a big thing that...
I think it's social media, and I think that social media has commercialised colour, and actually when clients see a colour, they go, wow, and it becomes so much quicker for them to say, I want that pink, I want that blush, I want that coral, whatever. And I think that, you know, when I see a strong haircut on Instagram, when I see a strong haircut on any social media platform, as a hairdresser, I go, wow. Does Mary down the road necessarily say, wow? Maybe not. So maybe it's overlooked because clients don't really understand the art of haircutting. So I think it's our job as a professional to make them understand. You know, I spoke about this last week. When I get a really good haircut, I notice a difference, and I know that your client will notice a difference, but it's about educating them that actually if they wrap dry the haircut, it's going to sit in place. They don't have to mess about with it. And then I think it will start to gain more importance. I don't think it's lost importance. I think it's just because people are attracted to bright lights. So if I see something psychedelic or pink or white, I go, "Ooh, it's shiny." Do you know what I mean? And I think that's just a human response.
I'm just thinking this question
up here. You can't ignore the trends aspect of it because, you know, but the clients come into the salon and ask for something they've seen before because they identify with different people, different trends, celebrities, what have you. And long hair has been in for so long that it has been really hard for us to get excited about haircuts. But I wonder if there's anything more we can do with long hairdressing techniques, because not everything has to be short and geometric. But another point I was going to raise, I've forgotten. Let's go back to your question, Dom.
Well, I'll tell you what then. Michael's just come in with, do you think colour... Let me just bring that up again. So let me just raise that.
That's Michael.
Do you think colour has become more important as a financial decision? Let's put that to you, George.
No, it depends how you price your colour. You know, all of a sudden you're going to use a load of products. You're going to use maybe a double toner. You're going to do a double bleach. As long as you're pricing right, then yes, colour is more valuable. But if you do a good haircut and you charge 80 quid for it and it takes you an hour, then 100% cutting is more viable because all you need is your scissors, your combs and your skill. You don't need peroxide, you don't need bleach, you don't need toners, you don't need creative. So nothing's more valuable unless you get your pricing structure right, in my opinion.
God, honestly, there's some amazing comments coming in here. Honestly, I'm trying to keep up with them all, guys. But yeah, we'll come back to some of these as we go through the show. Were you going to just say something there, Jordanna?
Yeah, I don't know about you, George or Dom, but, you know, I have a few clients that, you know, you can take off the tiniest amount of hair and it might be just opening a small triangle that's an invisible layer around the fringe, or it could be just connecting a fringe that's never been quite connected, or it could be taken the corner off a nice bob, and that makes such a difference to them. And it's those moments that I feel a bit like, am I robbing this client, because I've literally taken off barely any hair that you can't really see a lot that's like fallen onto the floor, but it's made the world of difference to her, because I've framed her face, or I've really looked into the mirror, and I've planned out and designed the front area of it, and I tend to focus a lot of my haircuts around the front, but it does make you feel, God, I haven't actually taken much off, and it's getting quite boring for us in the salon because of the length issue. So kind of do feel a bit like I'm robbing them £67 a haircut.
Do you know what else I think we're guilty of as well, guys, which I really have to raise this point? Because we see so much on Instagram, because we see a blunt cut, or because we see a beautiful colour melt, a lot of the times I think a lot of people are not actually listening to the client because they want the Insta photo. So I really feel that, I feel like that actually, they want that perfect image for Instagram. And where does listening to the client come in? Because if they want the corners off, or they want, it nice, sleek and straight, there's been loads of times when clients have said to me, I want it like this. And I'll say, oh, let me just style it like this for Insta first, and then I'll do it like that. Well, guys,
let's jump in there. That's why we do Hairdressers Open Talk. It's to raise conversations. So, Niall, you've really got us talking there on a great subject. Thank you. You delivered it brilliantly. And if you guys would like to do a Hairdressers Open Talk, again, Dan, we'll put a link in for you to just put a submission in. They're very easy to do, so they're not hard, and we want to get talking. That's the whole thing about them. It could be a fun thing as well. It doesn't always have to be heavy duty, so you can share whatever you like into this. So great comments. We're going to now move into our next part. So part of the hair show, every week we have weekly competitions, and I'm going to hand this one over to Jordanna. So she's going to tell us who the winner of last week's competition was. So 1 second, Jordanna, I'm just going to bring this up. I don't know if it's going to reveal the name as soon as I do this, but let's hold back.
Okay, I'll try and sign it.
I will let you know. So over we have the winner there, Jordanna, so you can announce them.
Congratulations to Leanne Eardley. You have won an incredible Inner Luxe package worth just under £100. Beautiful products in there. Hope you enjoy them, and congratulations again. For your chance to enter for this week's competition, guys, all you need to do is follow the Google link document. You just fill out your name, your number and your email address. It's as simple as that for your chance to win.
Okay, guys, great. So I'm going to take you through to this week's competition prize. So this has been donated by the fantastic Patrick Cameron, and we have got an array of styling accessories, including brushes, DVDs. Now, also, like Jordanna says, all you need to do is follow the link to enter into the competition. But actually, on my Instagram stories later on, I'm going to put the link direct, so you can just swipe up and it will take you straight to the competition. And remember, every prize that we get this week is going into one big massive hamper, and believe you me, by the time you get back to the salon, you are going to be good to go for a good few months. So yeah, make sure that you enter this competition, because really the brands that have donated have been fantastic, and we've got so much to offer. Over to you, John.
Hey, Jordanna, we're just on you. Shall we bring us up as well?
Come and join me, guys.
There we are. We're there. There we go. We're all swapped around places, but that's okay. Let Lou. Fantastic. Honestly, he's such a fan of the show, and to get him to come in and just share that bit of masterpiece, and it was great. Did any of you see his live was it last night or was it Sunday? He done it with Daryl. Did you see that, George?
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Actually, I thought it was great. I really like that Lou stuff. Actually, I think for me, his work, it really stands out, and he creates some really strong shapes, and it's really very much like high fashion. And I really like what he does.
It's got that editorial element to it, hasn't it? And I think that's really, really nice. It's often with styling, I don't know about you, but I can get carried away and it gets a bit avant-garde. But I really like how he keeps it very high fashion.
Yeah, it's very sleek, and he's just a really. I've been on competitions with Let, so we've entered the same competitions before. And he's just a really nice guy, and that helps, It's nice.
I met him the first time at I think it was the British Hairdressing Business Awards. I sat next to him for dinner, and he was great company. But if that's whetted your appetite for wanting to do a rock up and share, then come on, get involved. Maybe put a comment in. Maybe share what you would like to do. Is there something different that you would love to share? I mean, we're seeing tonight 2 great styling rock up and shares. Haircuts, textured hair. Come on, we talk about it. Let's get some textured hair. There's no point us all saying, "Come on, we want to showcase it." You got to get out and let's do it. There's no point talking it. Do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are really little quick snippets, guys, of just inspo. And I know they've really inspired me. It's nothing too serious. It's just little things that you can take away. Take your own inspiration from them. And I think they've been absolutely brilliant. Everyone that submitted, I salute you, and keep those videos coming.
Yeah. Do you know what else we haven't seen yet?
We want to get them videos in from around the world as well. So if you're in Cyprus, Chile, we have people watching from New Zealand, get them in. And, it could be anything from a skin fade, barbering, it could be colouring, it could be a fringe, whatever. Just get them in because we love it.
And I think that's a really good point, Jordanna. This isn't just a UK and Ireland show. This is to be a global show. I mean, that's where we're going. So we really want to welcome in our friends from around the world who want to bring their sort of side of hairdressing and their cultural experience. So come on, let's get you involved in the show. And certainly when you get back into the salon, I mean, you can really start to work that on your real people again. How weird would that be? No more dollars. So again, keep those comments coming in. Jordan, was you just going to say something there? Did I talk over you? No, okay. All right, well, we're going to go into our next piece. Oh, ouch, that hurt my ears. We're going to go into our next piece, and this is a new feature that we're bringing into the show, and it's called How To, all right? This is a little bit more educational-led. Again, it's bite-sized, and we kind of wanted to kick this off on a little bit of a theme around cutting, because Niall's done a great one on cutting, and there may be some of you that think holding a pair of scissors can be quite straightforward. Now, I think you need to think again, because our how-to is coming in from our big fan, and we're all big fans of him, Jack Mead. So let's go into how-to with Jack Mead.
Tonight I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about how I hold my scissor and about how I refine my haircuts. So the way I hold my scissor, this is a real simple change, and it's not as complicated as it looks, but it makes a huge difference to your haircuts. So the traditional way that a lot of us hold our scissor, just remove your fingers, this finger on top, and your thumb goes from in the scissor to resting. Also, when I'm cutting my lines, if I'm like this, I find it very hard to see the shape that I'm creating because my arm is in the way. When I move like this, I can see a lot clearer. So, for example for you guys now, if I hold my scissor like this, for point cutting, it's quite steep, it's quite rigid. I'm not very fluid in my movements, and my wrist is very bent. Whereas if I just change my technique to this, it's very easy and delicate for me to create my line. My wrist is nice and straight, and I can see very clearly the angles that I want to create. And that is how I get these beautiful lines. It's helped me so much in my haircuts. I really hope this has been an interesting video for you guys and you take something away with it. But thank you all for watching and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you so much, Jack Mead. Isn't he brilliant? And I was just thinking, watching that if I wore a hat, I'd look just like Jack Mead, wouldn't you agree, ladies? He's far too cool, Jack. Come on.
Easy on the eye, Jack. Well done. Thank you.
Easy on the eye.
Really good.
But wasn't that great? I think to actually see how to hold a pair of scissors, which sounds kind of simple, but I think for young hairdressers, George, it's really important to learn this kind of stuff.
Listen, you ain't taught that in college, you know, you're not. And I know for a fact that my apprentices, they're joining in every Monday. So to hear about that and to look at that in a different way of cutting a precision line, I think that that's really helpful. And let's not forget the old carpal tunnel, babes, you know what I mean? That's surely going to alleviate from any injuries in the future. So, like, yeah, I think it's really helpful. And I know that my apprentices will really love it. So, yeah, it's great to hear, Dom.
Yeah. What was you like when you first started out with your cutting, Jordanna? Were you somebody that took to it very easily?
Well, I've got a couple of stories, which I'm actually going to save for hairdressing horror stories next week with Georgia.
Tease.
I've cut off a mole or two before in my lifetime, and I've got a lot of stories to share. But I've learned originally cutting, so cutting's one of my biggest passions, and it was only colouring that I loved about 5 years into hairdressing. And when I was taught by someone at Sassoon, he showed me a similar technique, except the thumb went underneath the scissor rather than slightly on top. So yeah. Really interesting.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I've seen this sort of generation of holding scissors and the precision hair cutting that's going on there, and it is become a lot more than, like I say, just holding your scissors. It's that whole posture, and you know, you hear that. And I've got to say this, and buying scissors, and we're obviously not going to endorse scissors here, even though we have some great friends in the industry, but buying scissors, that in itself is an art, isn't it, George? You know, when you go Salon International, I see people picking up their scissors. I think to myself, do they really know what they're looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. It is an art. You know, actually, I'll show you the story with you this morning. I came downstairs and my 6-year-old had taken my hairdressing scissors and he was cutting the door frame with my hairdressing scissors. Oh, so you can imagine... No. My face this morning. But yes, it is an art and it's so important, and I think actually it becomes more fun the more, you know, progressed you get with cutting, and the more you realise that certain scissors do certain things. You know, you can have a lot of fun choosing the line that you want to use.
At Sassoon, they make you train with like 4.5 inch scissors, and it wasn't until I got into like everyday salon life that I was like, this is actually going to take me so much longer doing this. But I think it's a really good discipline to learn. So if there's any apprentices out there, if you want to be really disciplined with your cutting skills, try and just stick to the smallest shears that you've got, which are like 4.5, 5 inches, and don't move on until you're really super confident.
Yeah, Lynette just said there, George. No, I'd cry, George.
Oh, believe you me, I did.
I think you would. Here's a question for you all. I'd love to know, how many pair of scissors do you all own? All right, put them in the comments, because that would be interesting. You know, do you have different scissor for short hair, long hair, texture scissors? So, George, how many scissors do you reckon you own? Can you count?
I've got eight pairs. And that's exactly what my 6-year-old said to me this morning. Don't worry, Mum, you've got another.
Jordanna, how many scissors have you got?
I've got 7.
You've got 7. So, out of interest, do you all have the scissor pouch when you're working?
No.
No. Right.
290 is that, Dom?
Is it? No, I don't have. I just don't rock the scissor pouch anymore. Certainly when I've got my Jack Mead hat on, you know, it doesn't quite work the same. So look, we've already got some numbers. I knew that would go get you all. So Daryl's got 4 pairs of scissors. Let's got 4. Cherie, hi Cherie. She's got 5 pairs. Michael 5. Lynette 7. Nial 2,000 pairs. No, he's got 7. You've obviously got lots of scissors, so really
Yeah,
good.
I actually say 8, guys, but actually it's not 8 anymore, it's 7. Just to be.
What's Daniel's just put here? I'm a colour tech. Let's bring that up. I'm a colour tech. Does that come up? There we go. I'm a colour tech. I don't cut, but I have 3 pairs. Yeah, we love a pair of scissors. I used to love going to Salon International and buying a pair of scissors. So, but I think I'm only down to about 3 now. So, yeah. Anyway, look, the show is coming towards its end. I mean, this has flown by. It really is, and it's getting slicker. I'm absolutely so happy with this, and so enjoying seeing your comments, because that makes us all feel really connected, all of us, as we go through this show. A big part of the show, as we do, over the last few weeks, is Unsung Hero, and it's been something else that's been really lovely. So at this point, I'm going to just hand that to you, Jordanna, just to sort of mention a little bit about what this is about. So we're just going to open you up on your own there.
Thank you. So, Unsung Heroes is a section in each weekly show that we dedicate to actually celebrating individuals in our industry from all aspects of life who have done something really incredible for the community. So it's our chance to recognise them, thank them, and show gratitude for something that they've done. Now, in order to get involved, you can just nominate someone, or you can actually even nominate yourself. This week, we have nominated Grace Dagliash from Brooks & Brooks, who has so kindly actually hosted a colour class on Zoom for any hairdressers to get involved. The colour class was streamed live, but I'm sure you can play it back. And all donations for the colour class were donated towards NHS. So thank you so much to Brooks & Brooks. Thank you, Grace. I'm not sure what the number is now, because I haven't last checked how much you've raised, but it is a significant amount, and every little helps. So well done for putting that together. I'm sure it took up a lot of your time. And here is a message from Grace, our unsung hero of Week 4 Hair Show.
Hey everyone, it's Grace Dalglish here. I am super happy and delighted to be accepting the Unsung Hero Award. So thank you so much, Dom and Jordanna. This really means a lot to me. Basically, during the isolation period, I wanted to maximise my downtime. So I wanted to do that by giving back and raising some awareness for our incredible NHS. So by putting on some free education and some incredible donations, we managed to raise £2,000 for our NHS heroes. So thank you so much to everyone that joined us on the day. It was so nice to be back doing what I love and just sharing my passion and connecting again as an industry. So thank you so much for this award, and I hope to see you soon.
Oh, a round of applause, Ebby, please, to Grace there. Absolutely, and Cherie's just gone in amazing. And what a great cause again. I mean, it's really come to light over this sort of lockdown, hasn't it, Jordanna? The amount of people that have really done some incredible things.
Yeah, it really has, and we want to know more. So just get nominated. People that cut hair for the homeless. I know you guys are out there. We want to give you some recognition. So nominate everyone who you think is doing something really special for our community.
Yeah, and also just want to reference how good is Grace as a hairstylist as well, George. I mean,
oh, she's amazing. And actually, I did that course, so I was actually on that course, and
really?
I got I got all my stuff on that as well, and I donated to the NHS. It was just absolutely brilliant. And I thought it was a great idea. And it was like a 3-hour course that they did, and it was just fab techniques, and I loved every second of it. You know, Brooks & Brooks are fantastic anyway, and Grace is great doing what she does under that name as well. She's fantastic.
I want Grace to come onto the podcast. I've been hinting away. I think she lives with Harriet, if I remember rightly.
She does. And
I keep saying, come on, Grace, we need you on the podcast. There's lots that I'd like to talk about. And Lisa's just put a nomination in here. Lisa Harrington, 80 Phelan, deserves... So I've just blocked it up here, actually, guys. So I'm going to just move that up so I can see it. Deserves to be entered into raising money for the NHS Hero.
Yes, we've got AD on our books. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Yeah. Okay, so
we've already been in contact.
Brilliant. Well, come on, keep that. There's so many of you doing so many great things, and it doesn't always have to be the obvious. I mean, you know, you could be doing something completely random, but it's just helping somebody. And even if it's outside of hairdressing, and you know, come on, share it. We'd love to hear more from you all. So an hour has passed by so quickly, and I hope you're enjoying this, and do let us know what you're feeling about the show. And yeah, it really is just exciting times going forward, and I just want to say thank you to both. Jordanna, you got a final words before you head off and I give everybody their final farewells tonight?
I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone for joining in and being so engaging, because it is literally my favourite time of the week to tune in about what's happened on the Monday. But it's so nice that we all get to have a chat, chinwag, and I feel like we release a lot of tension on this show and talk about things that you wouldn't normally talk about. So thank you guys. It's really nice to be here, and I'll see you all next week.
Thank you, Jordan. I'll let you disappear there, and we'll hand over to George. What are you going to say before you sign?
No, just exactly the same, guys. I really look forward to a Monday. You know, like we always say, that this is your show. So, you know, if you've got any inspirations or any ideas or any thoughts of what you might want to see, you know, I always think, depending on your location, there's different things you might want to see, might want to put forward. We are so open to suggestions. You know, we are just getting started with this. And, you know, your opinion matters. It's all about you guys, the viewer, and what you want to see. So, yeah, just thank you so much for tuning in on a Monday and commenting, and it means the world to us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, George. And Jordanna, thank you, by the way. I know she'll still be listening as she rushed here. So we'll see you next week, George. I'm now going to say goodbye to everybody. So have a great week. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
It is something that we all enjoy. I don't know if I was on mute there, but hey, there we go. It is something that we all enjoy being part of and sharing, and it is your show. This is your show, the Hairdressers Show. So get involved, let us know what do you want, and if you are enjoying it, please tell your friends and colleagues all about it, because we need that support to keep growing. I'm just going to have a little shout out as well, if you haven't followed it yet, the How to Cut It podcast. We bring them every Monday on iTunes, their Spotify. Search How to Cut It, and this week I have a great one for all of you into vivid hair colours, because that's what we're talking about today, the rise of the vivid hair colourist, and I'm joined by Brekkie Sutherland and Sam Kurzweil, so go and check it out. Let me know your thoughts on it. But thank you all for tuning in. All the links, competitions, anything that you want to be part of, submissions, they're all in the comments. Dan's posted them in there. We'll also go and post those within the Facebook page, the Instagram account, anything How to Cut It, we're there. We're on the YouTube. And please do get submitting. Everybody is welcome to this. And honestly, don't underestimate yourself on it. And I think it's going to be a great week ahead, don't you? So until next time, all take care. We're going to finish on our TikTok segment. So enjoy our last bit, and goodbye. And I'm going to flag up some comments as we finish out. Goodbye, everybody.